So I haven't posted a video in probably close to a decade. And yeah, it's been close to a decade, if not more. So what I'm posting this video about is I'm gonna go on a road trip. Not just any normal road trip. A road trip most kids aren't doing anymore. And most adults can't even fathom doing. So I'm a big fan of mid-school BMX. That's like 1995 to about 2005, also known as the year of the tanks. The bikes weighed pretty much 40 pounds or more. And we primarily did big air, and we primarily rode half pipes. And no, not like little tiny 20-foot wide by 10-foot tall half pipes. We're talking big, like 13-foot high and 50 to 60 feet wide. The modern idea of big half pipes is they're going out of style, and there's like literally probably close to only 5 left that are public in America. I am going to attempt to acquire access to a couple of the private ones. This first road trip is going to be basically primarily West Coast. I'm going to start in Seattle and work my way all the way down to Southern California. And the more south I'm going to go, the bigger the verts are going to be. And most likely, for a majority of the trip, Seattle, if I can get into that vert ramp, it's privately owned. It's a big boy. That one's probably going to be the biggest one until halfway down the West Coast. There's a couple more big ones. Some of them are private. I'm tracking down the people that basically own them and seeing if I can gain access. I plan on ending the trip in San Diego. And if anybody knows that half pipe, that is a big half pipe. It's about the size of Woodward. That's another one I'm going to try and get into. It should be a good video log. Probably going to have to invest at least 3 weeks into this because there's going to be a lot of stops. And even though I say that there's only 5 big half pipes left in America right now, there is a bunch of private owned ones. And they're not, the majority of the private owned ones aren't that big, because to build anything bigger than 30 feet wide, you're talking the average price of a 1980s house. Like, they're costly. And I ain't talking I'm going to be riding like half pipes made out of like plywood that have been painted with like, basement sealer or whatnot. I'm only going to be looking at the ones that are skate light, because I'm 40, and unbeknownst to a lot of you young guys, us older riders don't send it as hard as we used to, because of the fact that basically we don't get up when we fall. And I am not going to be bringing a modern bike with me. I'm bringing a mid-school bike, which basically means I bail, that bike's coming down on me, and it's over 40 pounds. I'm getting hit by a Mack truck. So the goal of the whole thing is to make it all the way down to San Diego without any bad situations, because a bad situation in this trip will end the whole journey, primarily for me. Maybe basically the people that I'm going to be joining up with will take the whole path and finish it for me if that situation happens. But I am sick and tired of getting onto YouTube and literally watching folks ride scooter parks, and nobody is bringing up the fact that hardcore riding is dead. And anybody that's over the age of 35 years old right now is looking at this and they're fucking sad because of the fact that basically you young folks don't even understand what a vert ramp is and what kind of control you can actually accomplish on it. And the fact of the matter is, you don't have to be all that great. I'm deaf in one ear. I have balance on one side of my head. Now, get knocked out and lose half of your fucking hearing on one side of your head. It usually takes out your balance for a couple of days. I've lived with this all my life. I don't have balance on my left side. So I can only basically go in one direction on a vert ramp, and that's it. I can't go fakey. I can't do anything really crazy. So don't expect this video to be like me busting out some crazy ass Matt Hoffman fucking tricks, because of the fact that basically all it is a journey to show you what the hell you guys are all missing. Because of the fact that I've been watching the videos on YouTube for the last 5 years, and even folks that have massive subscribers and massive followings, when they see a 8-foot vert, they get all fucking scared and shit. Like, I remember the first time I saw a 10-foot by 20 and had no rolling. I didn't even like ride it like most skateboarders learn how to ride vert. I literally launched the bike to the deck and pegged in. Like, literally just dropped in. Like, I knew what I was doing. The half pipe will do what it wants, and the bike will do what it wants. You're in it for the ride. You can control it to a certain extent, and when things get out of hand, it's going to control it too, and it's going to mess you up. Basically, the nuts in the story is basically I haven't done this in probably close to over 15 years, and to my heart I miss it, because of the fact that the journey of life has taken me in other directions, and because of that I've not ridden. I mean, last couple years I've been riding mountain bike and doing like pretty hardcore DH and shit, but it's not as satisfying as just a simple vert ramp and, you know, doing what you need to do on a vert ramp, going up and down, up and down. It's very satisfying. And I'm not sitting here saying like that's all I did. I'd go 8 feet over the fucking deck. 8 fucking feet. I haven't seen one damn fucking mass followed YouTuber in the younger generation that is, you know, in their 20s going 8 feet over the deck of anything at any park. And I was doing that in my first year riding vert. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, you know, tabletops, freaking like no footers and stuff like that. Like, it was easy. The vert did the job. That's the reason why vert riders look so goddamn good. It's the inertia of that heavy ass bike. It's going to do what it wants to do. And because it's a vert ramp, not like those stupid ass park ride jumps that you guys fucking like love to ride that don't take you vert, even though you think a quarter pipe is the baddest ass shit. Your quarter pipes suck these days. If you ride a modern quarter pipe, it has no vert section. Literally, you will ramp over the back decking and go over the back rail. They don't go vert. For some dumbass reason, nobody is actually making parks the way that they should have been making them back in the day. And it's all lost. Like B3s, like most pro skate parks, they're all gone. All we have left is a handful of fucking parks that are like Woodward, that are, in most case scenarios, like, they're out of your distance. Like, you're not going to drive a half a day or a day to go to Woodward. Most people won't. And it's dying because of that. Their local skate parks, all concrete jungles. Like, who the hell thought of this idea? Because it's going to last, and it's going to be like, it'll survive the test of times through winter and shit. Skate Light does too. It's a beautiful product. You can get it wet, and basically when it dries out, it goes flat again. Like, it's a great product. And like, looking around, like, to find any wooden skate parks around the country right now, even the shitty ones, like, there's no wooden ones anymore. Like, I remember when I was 20, and there was like probably 4 or 5 major ones. Like, like, you'd be there for like almost 2 weeks before you actually had a set line. I mean, they were huge. And now it's just basically these little tiny ass parks, and paid parks are gone because of the fact that every county, because of, like, most of these skateboarders that are pro level, I mean, God bless them and everything for basically making the funding happen for local skaters to actually have a park to ride. But free parks are shit. They're not safe. I mean, you could think they're safe, but trust me, I'd rather fall 13 feet on like fucking a vert ramp onto a flat of skate light and bounce than land 5 feet onto a concrete fucking death dome. Like, like, modern skate parks suck, and nobody's speaking up of this. Like, you can thank everybody in your whole neighborhood and area for putting in the signatures and getting a skate park, situated. But at the end of the day, all it is a fucking goddamn oblong piece of shit concrete, death dome. You fall on that, you're going to the hospital. You fall on skate light, hey, you might bruise. You're going to bounce and get back up. The only thing that in a wooden skate park that you always had to worry about was other people. Like, the time that I took a peg into the freaking shoulder blade. That shit sucked. That, like, most riders today, that would have taken them out for like 2 weeks. I was still riding that day. To this point, like, it's still bubbled up over there. Because I was riding pretty much with a broken bone. Didn't even realize it. And most of the places that you go these days, they're made out of shit materials, and nobody says anything about it. The only thing that basically is left are big half pipes. Your skate parks that are wooden, that are indoor and stuff. They're nice and everything, but because of the fact that basically the majority of people that are actually using these parks, they tend to be skaters and the scooter flickers. I mean, pretty much it. I mean, it'd be nice to actually see somebody on rollerblades again. That was actually pretty cool. I'd respect somebody on rollerblades more than I'd respect anybody on a scooter. But the thing about it is basically, like, the skateboarders, like, they're in their zone. The majority of the time, back in the day when heavy bikes were around, skateboarders respected bikes. Because of the fact that they knew that we'd get fucked up when we biffed. But nowadays, because of the fact that you guys think a 27-pound bike is heavy, yeah, skateboarders don't give a shit. You guys bail, you can throw these damn bikes almost a football field away from you. I mean, not literally, but still. Like, back in the day, like, we couldn't throw our bikes. Like, the majority of people that were riding with front brake and like, big dropouts and stuff, our bikes weighed, like, almost, like, between 39 pounds and close to 50. Hell, Matt Hoffman's bike was almost 50 pounds. And most people don't even know that. Like, our bikes were fucking heavy. Try and chuck that off in the middle of a fucking bailout. It ain't going that far, and you ain't throwing it away from the ramp. I mean, there was one time that I threw it off the backside of the deck of 13-foot vert ramp, and I it bounced off the fucking blacktop, and it was still rideable, but like, that's rare. Usually, like, when you chuck it, it doesn't fucking go that far. But scooters, I don't understand. Like, they're not doing that much fucking shit, and meanwhile, they're just basically running into people's lines, and you see it on everything. Like, but the only thing that I gotta say is, at least they're riding the fucking half pipes. Why aren't the bikes? Like, bunch of goddamn pussies. Like, that's all you gotta do. I mean, I'm sorry if I sound like an old guy, but I am. And, you know, I look back at it, and the past 10 years, real BMX has died. I mean, it is pretty much dead. There's only a handful of classable riders that actually can do some sick-ass shit in competitions, but the majority of those dumbass competitions that you actually see brand marketed all over fucking YouTube, they're just doing basic-ass park shit. They ain't doing huge, massive transfers, and, they ain't doing full sends like back in the day. Like, Miron and Mira, like, those guys would fucking send that bike. They had no gives, no fucking fucks about it. They threw that fucking bike, and they were in it for the ride. And they did stuff. And you wanted a motivational video of park riding, those old Ets games from back then, that was the shit. Now, basically, like, you got, private edits and stuff like that, and people are hitting weird-ass shit, and, yeah, like, you guys will send it on those weird shits, but, God, man, half of you guys are fucking psychotic. Like, doing a goddamn fucking 20 fucking stair grind down a fucking rail, that's fucking insane. Like, yeah, I would have never done that when I was 18. Like, that's respectable and everything, but, Jesus, what do you gotta prove? I mean, they're doing, like, crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, where the fuck are the half pipes? That's my only point. And that's what I want to see. So, this year, I'm going to post another video sometime later on. It'll probably be, multiple segments, because I'm not going to just record the whole fucking thing and then do an edit and then make it like fucking, a 20-minute ordeal, because I'm not going to be able to fit it all in there. So I'll post a couple, little edits here and there, like 10, 15 minutes long, about the journey and about the people I'm going to meet, or at least meet up with. And we're going to take it from there and see if anybody else has the balls to actually ride a fucking half pipe. I'm not going to make fun of anybody that makes an attempt. And I'm going to give the fucking props way high to anybody that actually wants to fucking do it. Because we can't watch this side of the fucking goddamn BMX history die because people don't want to do it. And the majority of the reason why people don't want to do it is your fucking bikes are too damn light. Look up titanium bikes. The first complaint that anybody that owns a titanium bike is, it's too fucking light. Anything that's under 30 pounds is too light. So, theoretically, anybody that's brakeless, anybody that's basically running just rear brakes, anybody that's running a modern bike, all your guys' bikes are too fucking light. You'd be hell of a lot better if you added a couple fucking pounds of that damn bike. And god damn, you'd be so much fucking better if you fucking put a 990 on that front fork. That's me. I'm out.